Good morning. This is Chuck. I'm in my backyard fig farm, and I just thought I'd go around and collect any ripe figs. We do have some of my primarily Chicago Hardy variety that are getting ripe now, and I have a number of other varieties that have a few figs on them, but they're really not quite there yet. But they're coming along, so we'll just see how it works. We'll start off here. These first fig trees, these are some that are just growing, that I grew from seed that I sprouted last year. These trees were all a single little seed back in 4th of July of last year. You can see that now many of them are up to about 6 feet tall. None of them have any figs on them, and they don't have any figs developing on them yet, but they're coming along. We're going to see how it works out, see if I get any actual good figs off of them, and if so, you know, I will keep those. And there's an Italian Everbearing with a pink tag on it. This one here is a Greek honey fig. This is another Italian Everbearing. Now below that is this year's one that I sprouted from a cutting. This is an Olympian fig. Next here is another of the ones I grew from seed. This is a Tiger Panache, and none of those have any figs on them. However, the next one we see there is a Celeste, and if you look closely at this Celeste, see if I can get it around where you can see this in the sunlight, you'll see that there are a bunch of figs. Most of them are fairly small figs on this tree. Celeste is not known for producing figs real early in life, but it's coming along. Now this one is in a 15-gallon bucket, and it's been in that bucket now for about a year, I guess. The next tree we have here, now this does have ripe figs on it. This one is a Chicago Hardy. You can see the one fig right here that's getting soft. It's not quite ready to pick. There are two in the back here. Nope, that one's not quite ready, and neither is that one. But they'll probably be ready tomorrow. Now here's a fig. This one is ripe, and this is a fig off of the Chicago Hardy plant. The fig is, you can see from the size, it's about 1 inch in diameter, and the tree is just kind of loaded with figs, and they're starting to develop, you know, one after another. The next plant, whoops, here's one I missed. Let's see, no, wait till tomorrow. Okay, the next plant here is a Black Mission fig tree, and it has figs on it, a few at least, but they're a long way from being ripe yet. We'll see how those work out a little later. This tree is a white Madeira, a white Marseille, and I have no figs on it. It's a 1-year-old tree that I grew from a cutting off of a air layer off of my larger white Madeira tree, and it's developing, but doesn't have anything on it yet. Next I have Olympian. I have a yellow long neck, and they have, except I just noticed on this one, looky, there, right there in the corner of things is tiny little figs trying to develop on this one. See if there's any bigger ones on it. Okay, well here's a larger one. This is actually on the last plant in this thing. This is the Violet de Bordeaux, and it has a couple of figs on it. Now I'm going to go on past my other potted plants here and go out to the other area. Now this fig tree here, this tree is another Chicago Hardy, but for some reason, although it is covered with figs, it has not ripened any yet. My other Chicago Hardys, both the other one in the ground plus the ones that have ripened several figs, but this one is, I see that one is starting to swell there on it, but nothing ripe. This tree is about 9 feet tall now. Going out here to my in-ground fig trees, this first tree is a Chicago Hardy. And the reason I'm taking you to the Chicago Hardys is because that's the ones that are actually ripening figs. And you can see the figs that are developing on it. Now these figs here, they're ripening, they're getting close, but they're not quite there yet. They're turning color, but when they actually get ripe, the figs will tend to droop down. Right now they're sticking up, so that indicates that they're still not ripe yet. Okay, and that's a little cherry tree, and here is a golden rainbow, which is about the same thing as the yellow longneck that I've got over there. This is a tree that I got this year, so this is first year. It has no figs on this one. This one is a tree that I got last year, and you can see that it's got a lot of figs on it. They're small figs, they're not very large. This is a tree that is supposed to grow kind of as a dwarf. This is called a Petite Negra, and it's a dark fig, but a small tree. This one is a Peter's Honey tree. Somewhere buried down in those leaves is a couple of little green figs, but that's it. Nothing getting ripe yet at all. This is an Olympian. If you look down, you can see figs growing on it. Nothing ripe today though. And let's check this. Now this is another Olympian, and once again I have nothing ripe there. This one is a Texas fig. I was told it was a Texas red fig. I don't really know what that is. I suspect that it's what a variety called a Texas Everbearing, but I'm not sure. I got this from the Ozark Folk Center up in Mountain View, Arkansas. And they have a couple of trees, and those trees survive there in the winter without any protection. They freeze down to the ground occasionally in some years, but they do quite well most of the time. So I figured if they do well there, I'm a couple 100 miles south, so they ought to do okay here. This is a Violet de Bordeaux. I do not think this one has any on it. This is also quite a young tree. The Violet de Bordeaux is supposed to be, like the Petite Negra, is supposed to be a smaller tree. The Celeste is supposed to be quite large. These are smaller ones. The next one I've got here is my other Chicago Hardy. As you approach it, you can see the figs that are all over this thing. They are everywhere. There are some of them are large, some of them are small. I have picked several off of it. This is just the beginning of the season on it, but it's got just absolutely covered with figs. I got, I think, 3 or 4 of them off of this tree yesterday, but have no more that are actually ripe today. But I had, we had a rain, had about an inch of rain yesterday, so I fully suspect that I will get some coming on it, ripening up on it pretty quickly. Here's a couple that are getting ripe. You'll notice these two here, this one and this one. Now these two are, I'm gonna leave that one. I'll take this one because you could see how it was drooping. As they get ripe, they tend to droop. Whereas when they first come and they're first growing, they're standing quite upright. You can see how all of these in this branch are all standing very much upright. As those ripen, then they will start to droop, and when they start to droop, then they're getting almost fully ripe. They change color, become soft, and droop, and then they're ready to pick and enjoy. This is the 3rd year for this tree. I got it a couple years ago, and I brought it out here and planted it along with the other large Chicago Hardy. And the first winter I did not protect it. First winter, and it froze down to the ground. And the second winter, or the second summer, it grew and got to be, that was last year, it got to be 9 feet tall, which is about the height that you see this one right now. And it's going to continue growing for the next month and a half, 2 months. And but it's 9 feet tall, about the size of the other one that I saw that doesn't have any ripening figs on it. And this past winter, I covered it. I wrapped it up with all kinds of fabric and stuff and put a tarp around it, and then a bucket over the top of that. And that protected it. It didn't die back, and it got a much earlier start. So here it is, August the 6th, and I am starting to get fresh figs off of it. So I'm really looking forward to a great harvest. I'm going to take these figs that I got today, and I'm going to take them in and I'm going to add them to the others and put them all together. When I have enough, then I will turn those into fig preserves. Thanks for coming. I hope you enjoyed the tour. We look forward to seeing you next time.